Alright guys, here we are again. Hey, weight loss. There you are right away. Great. Nice to see you again. Good evening. How was your afternoon? Yeah guys, we are just approaching an enemy convoy again. So let me briefly pause so that we don't run into it while I give the usual little introduction. So nothing new for those guys who are already old hands with U-Boat and particularly with my stream. But let me briefly summarize that we are, well, in an overall war playthrough, which you can do in the game. And we are in the year of 42. It's August, so we are soon 3 years in the war already, actually. And that was quite a lot of sessions actually to get here. Quite a lot of streaming sessions. So I started in the very beginning of the war in September 39 in Wilhelmshaven with a tiny little Type 2 submarine. And hey, Quinton Jill, great to have you in. Yeah, that's nice. So Quinton Jill, one guy from YouTube, great to have you. And yeah, we started with this very tiny, little slow and badly equipped submarine. And yeah, then we did some good things, earned our merits, and finally ended up, after quite a while, with the nice Type 7C, which we have right now. So the game U-Boat is, I haven't mentioned it. Hey, not wet, just cold. Great to have you in. Didn't yet mention it, so most of you probably know that this is a World War II submarine simulator. And yeah, it's, if you ask me, the best one we ever had. It's completely open world. You can just get anywhere. You have all the coastlines modeled in the game. And yeah, only restriction is that you actually get orders and you should fulfill missions, but you can openly do whatever you like. And now, after a while, we even got access to the so-called milk cows, which is supply submarines. We can position them somewhere in the ocean, and only this actually made it realistic to cross the Atlantic, refuel at a milk cow, and then go to our theater of operation, which is right now here off the coast of Canada. And here we are doing Operation Drumbeat. You see that, yeah, we originally were on just an ordinary patrol. And if you know the game, you know that a patrol means that you have some patrol area marked. But this mark is already gone because we already sank 10,000 tons of merchantmanship. And yeah, so we are here just for fun at the moment. After having sunk the 10,000 tons, I went back a second time towards the milk cow, refueled, reloaded torpedoes, restocked food, and went back to the theater of operation. And right now, we ran into a convoy. As usual, we detected it with the hydrophone, tracked it, put ourselves in front of it, and tried to sneakily get into that convoy by them just running over us. Yeah, on our first try. That was earlier this in-game day. We were detected right away, so there was a little chase. We got depth charged quite a bit, and yeah, we got away. And what I did now was getting away, getting back to the surface, going flank speed on a parallel course and intercepting the guys again. So now we are in front of that same convoy again. And yeah, my plan is to retry. Actually, we sank one escort ship when we fled with a sound-seeking torpedo, AT-5. And yeah, so it's one escort less actually. So let's get into business. Hi guys. I just see that the number of watches has gone up for quite a bit. Great guys to have all of you in. Don't hesitate to participate in the chat. If it is, just give a hi to make yourself notable that you're there, or yeah, give some comments onto the game, onto the gameplay, onto my gameplay. I don't mind backseat driving. I hope I don't regret to say things like that. Yeah, but I don't actually. And yeah, I love to have some communication via the chat. Hey, not wet, just cold. You know tricks that I don't know yet. After already streaming for something like maybe 1.5 years by now. But what is this? Yeah, on-screen celebration. Yeah, thanks a lot. That's wonderful. Thanks for that positive feedback. And yeah, great to have you back in again. Yeah, let me just try not to forget about the guys in the YouTube chat. For example, Quinton Jill, he is there, and he's one of the talkative guys actually, which I like. I mean it in a positive way. Hey, Boff Trouty is with us as well. Good evening. Hope you had a good afternoon. So, let's go. And fingers crossed that we are more lucky on this second try. Oh yeah, there is already a hull up. Already see that ship. Oh shit, guys, we have to dive quickly. Please do that. Okay. Looks like we are being detected by radar. Okay, maybe I dived away a little bit too late. Yeah, of course, I do use it very often when I am traveling across the... Yeah, but of course, that's self-understanding that you have to do time compression when you do the long runs. But yeah, sometimes I also do it. But usually I don't do it when enemies are close, because this ends in a catastrophe. So when enemies are close and chasing you, it's really a bit of a matter of patience. So it's a bad idea to do time compression when you're submerged and escorts are actually chasing you. Hey, the one Red Slapper, great to have you in as well. So, you're playing a bit of War Thunder in parallel, I understood. Yeah, well, it might happen that you use the time acceleration and then, yeah, you can't react on some bad things to happen because you are in accelerated time. And yeah, right now, let's just hope that we didn't go down too late. Now that we are submerged, please, Mr. Grad, our chief engineer, he should support the guys at the depth charts and help them, keeping a precise depth so that we are sure that our conning tower does not approach the surface. Okay, all right. And what about the maintenance status? Okay, so there is some maintenance necessary. Mr. Schneider, please start maintaining Torpedo 1. You get additional guys to support you. And here we are. Oh shit. Ah, yeah, I used the wrong button, so let me correct that. And here we are. So get the periscope up. I have to be very careful now, because these guys were already pretty close, obviously.
Alarm! Konvoi in Sicht! Peilung! 350 Grad!
And there they are. And some escorts already. I saw some silhouettes, which I already am relatively sure that they are escorts. So let's see if we can do it better. This one is a transport. I think I see the masts, the loading masts, the cranes, the tackles. This one is definitely also a merchantman. You see the tackles. And this one probably is an escort. Yeah, okay, of course. Quite some. So let's see that we now silently let them approach us. So guys, at the moment, step away from battle stations. We don't know it yet, but do silent running, please. And at that point, please run in the periscope. I don't want to be visible at all. And yeah, make sure that the captain keeps the periscope down. Yeah, we have to stay at electric dive planes, or our depth keeping would be too imprecise to stay on periscope depth. So now everything is silent. Question is whether we should really turn off the engines and just wait for them to pass by. Maybe then we would do better than last time. Problem is that it's really getting dark now. The sun is setting, and in contrast to the feelings of aqua icing, I personally don't like to do night attacks. By the way, let's check how much water. Oh, well, I should have turned on the pumps before, but now it's too late. I don't want to make any more noise. Still, more maintenance. Although I wouldn't want to have that noise, I still... oh shit, the maintenance was interrupted. Hey, that's a bug, isn't it? Oh no, That's all right. So now that looks good. That looks good. So Mr. Schneider doing the maintenance of that torpedo in tube number 2. Mr. Hinrich at the hydrophone. Well, I just don't want to have anybody poking any observation. Oh no, come on, guy. Now they have the observation periscope up. I don't want that. How could I prevent them from doing that?
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Ja.
Oh, guy. That's one of the crewmates, and he is actually using. Okay, so good that he stops that. Mr. Rossmann. Okay, the second torpedo tube. So let's just go on and let him do the third one just as well. And now check the map and our Mr. Hydrophone. There they are coming in. Let's mark these just with an X, roughly. And what's the distance? So, well, it might be that they detected us with their radar already. That would be very bad. That I dived away too late and we were already in their radar detection range. At least our passive radar warning system warned us. Yeah, okay, yeah. You think that they didn't actually get us, even though we had a signal from the passive radar detection. Yeah, let's keep fingers crossed that you're right. Yeah, I'm always a bit afraid of just turning off the engines completely, because in real life then you would completely lose the, or not completely, but lose quite a lot of vertical control, depth control, when you're not diving dynamical anymore. So this is why I would prefer to stay on kleine Fahrt. Only question is if this is enough. Question is if I really should go to stop, engine stopped, and just float here until the convoy passes by. This is what I'm not quite sure about right now. Hey, not wet, just cold. Thank you very much for the cheers. That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much for this wonderful feedback. So let's finally maintenance torpedo tube 4 as well. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable, what you say. And, well, not only that it sounds reasonable, but we know that it comes from a guy who knows what he is talking about. Yeah, thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. That's very nice. Mr. Schneider and two hands doing maintenance. Yeah, for those of you who might be not that experienced in the game, if you fire a torpedo without having it fairly maintained, you have a high risk of getting a dud, actually. Which is a pity if you do a nice torpedo solution and the torpedoes are nicely running and then, yeah, they just end up as a dud. That's one of the biggest disappointments that you can get. Are coming in slowly. Yeah, of course, they are just moving with something like 8 knots. So now it's a bit of patience, and I wouldn't dare to do time acceleration now at the moment. Really just wouldn't dare to do that. Question is if I dare to poke the periscope out of the water. Well, of course we can do this little bit of cheating. Yeah, well. Now let's get the periscope up manually and just have a brief glance around. Oh, that guy looks already pretty close.
Handelschef, 25 Grad.
This is a destroyer. Yeah, okay, so we have to be careful about that guy. This is an escort, a man of war, definitely. But there are, oh nice, look at the sunset. Look at that sunset. Transport, that would be nice if we could go for that one. And oh shit, this guy is an escort. So let's stow away the periscope again and just hope that these guys didn't spot it yet.
Yeah.
Periscope down, please. Give it a save. Well, let's do a new save. It's a new day, new stream. W223. Hey, yippee up. Hiya. Nice to have you in. Yep, exactly. Quite a few familiar faces in. Great to have you in, all of you guys. Hey, weight loss, I just recognized that one of your comments actually originated from YouTube. That's very kind of you to join both streams. So cheers, guys, this time with a glass of water. What about the galley? Everything all right. Yeah, cheers. Hey, the gigantic emote. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much for that one. Yep, little green fella. Come on, guys. Fingers crossed that they don't detect us. So that's these guys closing in.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Convoy?
That's what I guess. At the moment, I don't get any command or any signal on that destroyer. It must be somewhere there, destroyer or escort. Hey, wow. That's really highlighting the message. Great. You do quite some nice tricks that I never had before on my channel. Yeah, let's also track the position of that guy. That might well be an escort. So, hey, 2 miles. Yeah, so we are really getting close by now. We are really getting into firing range. You mean in total? How many hours in total on U-boat? Uh, 961.8 hours. Just checked it. So always recheck the maintenance status. Yeah, but this maintenance now should hold until we actually fire these fish. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, 50 to 100, yeah, well, but yeah. But you are actually finding the ropes, right? No. They're really coming in close. Come on. No way. I need to poke up the hydrophone again. And Mr. Terminal Boson, please man the target calculator. And here we are. We have lost. Maybe I would stay low and not poke it up too far. Yeah, great. Sounds good. So, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit, you know what that is? Do you know what that is? And this one is a little bit. Ah, come on, that one is so close. And which fighter is it? Hard to tell from the front view. Pretty hard to tell from the front view. Don't think that it's this one. I think it's one of these classical ones. Having a draught of. If I would go with 8, I don't know. I just don't know. Can't really judge from that angle. Keep the periscope down. That guy pretty much looked like he's heading straight for us. He's just too close. This is an escort we just spotted, and this over there is probably the merchantman that we want to go for. So maybe I should just keep quiet at the moment.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Let's just stop and hope that they are passing by without noticing us. I wouldn't like to die deeper because when I get down deeper, I have the gut feeling that only then I get into the cone of their listening. Nope, I don't. I don't use any mods. I know that there are quite a few nice mods, but for these kind of games, which I really play on long term, so doing a complete playthrough here, yeah, I just am too much afraid that I kind of ruin the balance of the game by introducing mods. Although probably there are a few mods which are relatively uncritical. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's nice to hear. I'm also enjoying to have all of you in the chat. Let's see if we manage to let them pass by silently. Yeah, my stern torpedo is unmaintained. That's bad. But right now I don't dare to do the maintenance because, yeah, it might just be hurt. But the problem is that the maintenance level of my 4 torpedoes is also dropping again. So this is really a trade-off. Hey, great! If I see at the numbers, look at the number of people in the stream. That's amazing. So amazing, guys. So great to have all of you in. So there might also be a few guys who are not yet following me, and that's perfectly fine. Don't feel pushed into anything. Don't see your names, just the number going up, and just makes me happy to see that many people are joining the stream. It's great. But of course you could make me a bit happier even if you would give me a follow, but you don't need to. Or just participate in the chat, give a hi, tell us what your relationship to the game is, what you think about the stream. Yeah. So this is probably, I don't know. This is probably that contact of the escort. Oh, and that's so close, guys. It's so close. And there is another one. Let's call this contact Y. And it could be that this is actually our merchant that we want to sink. But the escort is just too close at the moment. Wow, see how close this guy is passing by. Hey. So, is it French? DS avant? Or am I completely wrong with that spelling? Great to have you in again. Yeah, thanks for joining and thanks for joining the chat. Yeah, let's see. So we have to avoid that ugly looking escort there. And I fear that we have another escort approaching over there. Wow, so this is gonna be tough. Okay, yeah. Dark side. So, actually, even there, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word in English. Dark Seventh? Is it Dark Seventh? Is it the pronunciation on the first syllable? Okay, I'll call you the S. So, we would like to sink this guy. But at the moment, I wouldn't even dare to push up the periscope, poke it through the water surface, because this guy would right away spot us. And it might be that this guy over there is another escort as well. Do we have any surprises going on there? No, not at the moment. And the sun has set. Savant. Okay. Dark Savant. Yeah, thanks for the help. Are we gonna be lucky? Are we gonna be able to evade being detected by that guy? And could we finally home a torpedo onto that one? This will be tricky at the moment. The maintenance status of my torpedoes is dropping and dropping again. So that might become a problem. But I don't dare to turn on my engines at the moment. Wow, see this guy being so close by now. Good that I have Mr. Henrich at the hydrophone. And that's him. Let's give him a Y. That's probably that other ship, I'm relatively sure. So it's a multi-contact, but still. I think that's him. Yeah, guys, I know. Too many propels, too close, actually. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I've turned off the engines. We are on complete silent running, except for the electric support for the depth steers. This I don't dare to turn off, because I fear if I would, our depth keeping would become so bad that we would broach the surface with the conning tower. Hey, Philo! No sneezing. Yeah, I did sneeze a bit yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, Philo joined us in the YouTube stream. Thanks for being in. It's a pleasure. The water graphics, right? I also feel that this is great. This is really great. Oh shit, there we are. Now and then we are poking this radar detector out of the waves. Ah, come on, let's give it another save at that point. At the moment it looks like we are not detected. Yeah, the light becomes worse. At that point it might be very good. I said I don't like okay, Philo, best regards from one of my Twitch viewers. Yip yap. I shall tell you hi. So, oh man, this is another escort, isn't it? And we are pretty close now. What's the maintenance status? Not very good anymore, so this is the latest time now to fire a torpedo. Let's try it. Think I would have to change course a bit. So shit, who is this? Another big baby. This is the guy that I actually want to get. So now I should be able to identify it. Is it this one? Guys, please help me. Which one is it? It's not this one. I think it's this one here. Yeah. Recognize it. What's the draught? Let's go for 9 meters. Velocity is probably 8. Angle on bow. Now we have to do a bold guess. Something like that at the moment. So let's move a bit backward. Hey, Chainsaw, nice to have you in. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted at the moment, I have to admit. And the distance, very close actually.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel 5, 2, 8 Meter. Lage 6, 1 rechts. Geschwindigkeit 8 Knoten. Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Lage 6, 5, Bug rechts.
Hey, the gaming mic, great to have you in. Good evening, how are you? Yeah, let's get the periscope down as far as possible. Yeah, bye-bye. It was a pleasure to have you in. Okay, I think that angle on bow is not too bad. What did I say? 9 meters? So please. Now give me the torpedo solution. Quick.
Gegnerfahrt 8 Knoten.
I don't get the synchro. Mr. Drummer, Bosun, please. Why don't we get the torpedo solution? Why don't we get the solution, guys? We have you. We don't have the solution yet. Come on. Do it. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Los! Rohr 2 bewässern. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. Rohr 2 bewässert. Los! Rohr 3 bewässern. 30 Sekunden. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. Rohr 3 bewässert. Los!
Okay,
20 Sekunden.
Fingers crossed.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. 20 Sekunden.
Okay, that was a miss, obviously. That was obviously a miss. So, did I put them too deep with 9? Shit, a dot. Maybe. 9 meters. They're just too deep. What was that? Draught 8.9.
Bohr 4, bewässern. Bohr 4 bewässert. Los!
That wouldn't work actually. Pretty sure that this will not work.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
That was a hit. So that was, I don't know. Where did we have to hit a ship? Did we hit this one? Yes, we obviously did. So anybody who listened, whether this was a heavy hit? There is still some of these torpedoes going. What about that one? Also doesn't look good. So that was quite some misses. Everything was a bit too improvised actually on that attack, but well, what should you do when there is all these destroyers around? Yeah, 14 views, that's nice. Thanks guys for being in. Now maybe I would like to have my stern torpedoes maintained. And maybe I would like to have my front torpedoes reloaded. What about that guy? Is it going down? At least it is. It's not sinking. It must be this one, I'm so sure. And it has a draught of 9 meters. So the stern torpedo must be something like that. Distance, maybe a bit more.
aktualisieren. Entfernung zum
Yeah,
Ziel
let's be on the safe side.
1,9,7 Meter. Gegnerlage 1,5,4 rechts. Rohr 5 bewässern. Rohr 5 bewässert.
Are they going down? I doubt it actually. Yeah, I particularly like everything that has to do with ships and things. So actually I don't know any other decent World War II simulation. Or what do you have in mind? Which kind of ships do you actually have in mind? Talking about Second World War.
Los.
So fire that stern torpedo. I did put it on shallow, so now it is going out with a draught of only 3 meters, because I wanted to make sure that it would also hit, if it would home in onto one of the destroyers. They have a much more shallow draught than the merchantman. Okay, let's see on which guy this one is homing in now. So the effect will not be as good as if it would be exploding right under the keel, now that it goes in so shallow. Looks like that ship is sinking, isn't it? I don't know. At least we're gonna score another hit, I hope. Okay, that is minimum damage. Not quite good. Hey, Beatbox! Nice to have you in, and thank you very much for the raid and the cheers. It's a pleasure to have you. You see us in the middle of action right now. Hey, let's just hope that at least the propellers are not working anymore after that hit. Yeah, I am just infiltrating a convoy, but yeah, to be honest, I'm not doing too well in terms of aim. So the escort is pretty tight on the convoy, and yeah. Problem is, yeah, I fired 4 boat torpedoes and only one of them did hit, and it actually did just minor damage. And now I fired my stern torpedo, sound-seeking stern torpedo, on the same ship, and well, still also looked like it was only minor damage. Yeah, that's right. I just have to actually get it on the platter. Okay, please. Guys, reload the torpedoes. So let's change our course due north and see if we can intercept that other guy. Yeah, I've been playing Destroyer, the U-Boat Hunter. And in principle, I like the game, but yeah, in comparison to this one here, it feels a bit static. That's my feeling. If it were a bit more dynamic, I think I would like that game, U-Boat Hunter. Let's see, what is this torpedo doing at the moment? Let's just hope that it doesn't come back and hit us.
Auf maximale sichere Tiefe gehen. Aktuelle Ziel 5 Meter. Feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm. Das wird nicht einfach. Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben. Wasserbomben. Sehr nah.
Wow, wow, wow. So guys, I need you at the engines. I wanna have flank speed. The guy's just passing above us. Okay. There we are. Getting some damages. What is it? Okay, it's only equipment. It looks like we don't have any leaks, but we have to send the guys on battle station. Up, up, up. More hits, more hits. Guys, let's turn on the pump at that point. I think we are taking some leaks.
75 Meter.
Damage control, guys. Please do the damage control. That's what we need right now. Maybe we are lucky and the hull didn't get any holes, but we still don't know. The guys have to do the controls. Sometimes you have hidden damage, and then so we did fire a few torpedoes, but not sure if we actually sank. I doubt that we did sink one of the ships.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Alle Luken schließen.
Dive planes to manual. Actually, the other great game, or the game with great potential, is Wolfpack. Did you ever play that one? That's very fascinating. So at the moment it really looks like that we didn't get any leak, but just had external damage. The machine gun and the radar detector was damaged. Wow, coming in. Loads of contacts, and some of them being very close. Okay, we are being pinged. Yeah, I actually played it and I quite love it, it's just very complex, and you have to play it with friends so that it is real fun. And it's so complex that it might be tricky to find sufficient number of friends who would actually deep dive into that game. Guys, that was the second run on that convoy. We scored 2 hits, we fired 5 torpedoes and scored 2 hits, and my gut feeling is that none of these hits was sufficient to actually sink one of them. I don't know that one actually. Ultimate Admiral, Age of Sail. Sounds good. Maybe I should take a look at that one. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Yeah, but the concept is great in Wolfpack because they are working on Wolfpack to create a real world map like in this game here. And they are just about creating a corvette. So finally their plan is that it is possible that one group of players mans the submarines and another group of players mans a corvette or several corvettes, and then they actually fight each other, and this is amazing.
Tauchen auf 110 Meter.
Don't remember actually that game from the 90s. Mid-90s Wolfpack. I don't know, was it a submarine simulation? So, air quality 86%. Discipline still alright. Yeah, these sounds, that's flares. So don't worry about these explosions. That's just them up there firing flares. Okay, so maybe now we could care for reloading the torpedoes. Okay. So let's see that we get away. Flank speed, 90 degrees change course, and getting deeper. So they are dropping, but there was no explosion yet, so we are still in the danger zone. There are the explosions, and well, not that close. That last one was just a flare. Water in the bilge is alright. Change of course is ongoing. Wow, that's loads of ships up there, but it might also be merchantmen passing by above us. Yeah, when they are right above us, they can't hear us. Yeah, come on, load the torpedo. There is so much propeller noise around us, that can't be a problem. Bilge 22 liters. Yeah, we don't have a leak, but this is one of the realistic features of the game. When you are deep down like we are right now, you take a constant stream of water, like a little bit of water leaking in, seeping in through gaskets all over the hull, particularly via the shaft, the drive shaft. So they are pinging us again. Let's give it a save for now, because we are still alive. I wouldn't reload. I mean, the attack was not perfect. But that's how it is. And of course, later in the war, things become harder and harder. So this convoy, the escort of this convoy, is very, very alerted, very much aware. Ping. Yeah, Mr. Schneider and his guys are maintaining the torpedo to load it into tube. What was it? 2. So tube 1 is already reloaded. Mr. Arles at the engines, Mr. Hinrich at the hydrophone, the captain and the bosun taking command in the central, and Mr. Preen also checking for damages together with Mr. Grada, our chief engineer. Hey, not wet, just cold. Thanks very much for the bits. Hey, Beatbox. Thank you very much. Great. That's wonderful feedback. Yeah, I don't want... It's relatively critical already. The deeper you go, the faster that leakage rate is that you have. Yeah, I think we can. At the moment, it doesn't look too bad. And these destroyers already dropped a lot onto us, something like 8 hours ago when we did our first run onto the convoy. So they might also be running out of depth charges sooner or later. Yeah, we are out of stern torpedoes. Don't worry, I'm fine. Just a little cough now and then. So let's load one of the sound-seeking torpedoes. That might help. Yeah, there is just too much sound going on the top. Hey, is there? Is there? My guess is that you're maybe having a mod with that, but yeah, let's check it. Never knew that. Yeah, it's a mod, okay, yeah. But it's a nice mod, I like that idea. I really like that idea. Yeah, I don't know, maybe with the next update when I have to abandon my saved games anyway, maybe I should then go for a little tiny nice set of mods. That one. Yeah, they are working. They are the crew. The development crew is actively working on the game, and they announced a big update for January. Actually, weight loss. This is your part now. So the crew starts to become strained and stressed with 17%, which is still alright. 99% of discipline. Pretty uncritical. Oh, come on, and load another one. How long is it actually ago that we got that big update with the Type 2? With the Type 2 and everything, and I think that was when it left the early access, right? When was it? When did the game leave early access? Couldn't tell. Is it a year ago already?
Kommandant, wir wurden von SD geortet.
Yeah, slowly increasing amount of water in the bilge, but still completely uncritical for now. Hey, it's such a pity. We did score 2 hits actually, and it looks like none of them made the ship sink. That's pretty bad luck. Okay, so you recently got a PC actually. When did it come out? Half a year ago or something? It came out on console, I think, something like that. Yeah, flares being fired up there. Yeah, come on, let's do the cinematic view again. How I like to call it. they're still on my tail. They are still on my tail. Quite a bunch of ships cruising here. 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 destroyers, and I really wonder if I did any harm to one of the other ships. I fear I didn't. No one is actually going down. So let's see which one was the guy that I fired at. It was a Swedish ship, wasn't it? Yeah, it was probably this one, I guess. Hey, and they still have enough escorts left to stay with the convoy. So many escort ships by now accompanying them. So that was the ship that I fired at, pretty sure. Or this one. Swedish, yeah, but not enough damage. Another escort. Okay, that was another failed attack. Well, failed. I don't know, we're still alive at least. And we already had our 10,000 tons of sunk tonnage in this mission. So everything we do is an add-on. Okay. Now torpedoes are reloaded. Can't repair because we are underwater. This is what I want you to do, damage control. Yeah, we are not completely out of it yet. But it looks a bit like they are losing focus on us. So, Mr. Hinrich at the helm. Oh, sorry, guys. That sound is a bug, isn't it? Ah, you think that's a fast rotating warship prop, okay? If it's very close. Yeah, I would think this to be such a one. And then compared to that one. Is it very fast rotating and very close then? Let's do a little bit more cinematic viewing. Yeah, right. So there is nothing really close. So, well, hey. Are you sure? I mean, I would still guess it is kind of a bug. So the closest ship is this one, which is relatively far away. Really wouldn't believe that this is this kind of noise. Could be that this guy is going after us at the moment. I think we are through the worst. Looks like most of these hunters are going back to the convoy to guard it. And we are relatively fine, so just 50 liters of water in the bilge, pretty uncritical. 4 torpedo tubes fully loaded. And we still have another load in spare. Only point is our stern torpedoes, they're empty. And although we have a few boat torpedoes left in spare, you could never manage to get them through the boat to the aft torpedo tubes. The boat is not built to do that. Yeah, propeller detected. So, guys, yeah, Philo, we are all very eager to take a look at that Type 9 update and, yeah, the headquarters update. Pretty curious on that one. Can't wait for it. Yeah, Philo, you have made that remark about that they might drop on me by dead reckoning from the torpedo wake, and I think that the AI actually can do that in the game. Just my gut feeling. Yes, yeah, weight loss, maybe you're right. Just some changes in the menu. So the greatest thing, of course, is to get a new type of submarine into the game. Strain and stress is just slowly rising. Another cinematic view. Here we are. Looking astern. And it's really getting dark by now. The sun is long down. And hey, look at that. They are retreating back to the convoy. So they are leaving us alone. Alright. Yeah, it's a pity. It's a pity. Let's give it a save. I mean, it's a pity we had these 2 torpedo hits out of 5 and none of them actually sank the ship. So I think it was hits on 2 different ships or hits on one and the same ship but in the same section, so it didn't make a difference, maybe. Yeah, now let's get carefully back to the surface.
Aktuelle Tiefe 100 Meter.
They're something like 2 or 3 miles away by now. I think it's safe to get back to periscope depth first.
Meter. Meter.
Yeah, this is one very basic rule. When you're deep down, never directly go to periscope depth because you would definitely 100% overshoot. Even if you would put somebody on the improved depth keeping.
35 Meter.
Don't quite know what that pumping sound actually is. Maybe it's somebody on the toilet. This animation is actually missing, that you see somebody using the toilet. Alright, at least I never spotted it. Does it? So it would create. Okay, so it would be a little bit unrealistic. All right. So let's go for 10 meters. Let's do a bit of role play and do it in the realistic way then.
Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter.
Yeah, right. Guys, step away from alarm. And go for periscope depth.
Wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Yeah, let's play safe and take a look around. But in the darkness, this is what I hate about the darkness, for example, that you can't even properly read the angle scale up there. Anything to see? There might be some smoke clouds, but I just can't figure out. There is still something. And this is relatively close. That's still closer than I would like to have it. So, Mr. Trummer, if you would step to the observation periscope.
Luftziel Seerohr besetzen.
The good thing about the observation periscope is that you can use filters actually. Hey, okay. I was so sure that there was a guy who was pretty close. Let's make sure that we just did not miss him. Just miss him. Yeah, okay, that's the guy. That's the guy. It's still relatively close, so at daylight it would be suicide to surface on that distance, I think. They would spot us and chase us down and shoot us with their deck guns blaring. But like this we might get away if we get to the surface right now. Well, maybe let's just stay like that for a little while, give it a save. And maybe now I dare to do a bit of time acceleration. Yeah, exactly. That was my own thought at the moment as well. They might have radar. So let's stay underwater for a while. And at least, well, let's do some time acceleration here. And take a look at their behavior, whether they are going for us. But at the moment I would say it pretty much looks like they are moving away. They are not closing in for sure. Yeah. Did we lose the contact by now? No. But we actually can't see it anymore. Exactly, yes. That's why we dived in the beginning of the attack, yeah. But you were completely right. At that point they didn't yet spot us via radar. And so this time we got a little bit further than on our last attack on this convoy. So we actually infiltrated the convoy. But then, yeah, I was in a very bad angle to attack that ship, and for some reason the torpedoes really missed it. I don't know if there was any problem with the depth control. I don't know, that felt a bit weird actually. And it's also unusual that you have a torpedo hit on a merchantman and it doesn't sink it. In the past, I often had that one hit actually was sufficient. Okay, now they are well out of range. So
Schleichfahrt beenden. Kreiselkompass einschalten.
So go back to everything normal. And save game, and I think this is the right point in time to get back to the surface. Yep, yeah, that would be a good strategy, yeah. And just turn it on for a short time, yeah, so that any radar detection would not give you away, yep. Yeah, you mean the other game, Destroyer, right? Yep. Yeah, exactly. That game had so much potential, but finally it felt, yeah, couldn't quite put it into words, but like I said, it feels kind of static, actually. Did I save? I think I did, right? Better save twice than being sorry. So guys, let's get to the first surface. Let's first go deck wash, which means we wouldn't blow the tanks, or we would just blow the tanks partly. You see that here. Yeah, we have already lost some of our compressed air because we use compressed air to push the torpedoes out of the tubes when we fire. But for going deck awash, I thought we would blow at least part of the tanks. Yeah, there we go. So we will use a bit of compressed air. You see there, going slightly down. And so this brings us to the surface, being just afloat. Yeah, you hear the noise, so the crew did turn on the compressors right away, so to restore the compressed air. So are we running the diesel by now? Yes, we are. Okay, our radar detection system wouldn't help much because it's broken. Good thing is that Mr. Arles is working on that. Can I see what he is actually doing? Yeah, whatever. It's Mr. Arles and Mr. Schneider. They are both doing repair. So obviously I can't give them any help. Don't know why. So let's see that we first repair the radar detector. Yeah. Okay. So we actually do have a signal detected. Mr. Arles. Not quite sure who is actually our officer of watch at the moment. Now the question is, would I really do another try onto them? I think not. I think I'm going to turn around. Hey. Hey DS, that sounds pretty much like a compliment, although I don't know much about Bob Ross. But yeah, it's like, what do you mean? I mean, if you say Bob Ross, what I associate with Bob Ross is that he's a guy who tries to teach just everybody how to paint, right? So that would be a great compliment if I take it like that. The guy looks pretty funny. Hey, yeah, you say the guy was very calm. So this is what years ago I already heard this, like that he died. But you still have videos from him where I thought that he's still active. But when you say, yeah, he was. Oh, okay. So what is it then about these videos that you see? You have plenty of videos of the guy on YouTube. Yeah, let's hope to get away and they are not gonna follow us. Yeah, look at the positioning. Let's give it a mark. So the radar detector guesses or estimates their position there. And what's the other one? There. They're moving away, so I think I am out of the danger zone. To quote that famous song title. Anybody remembers that one? Which one I mean? Yeah, so how is it? And that was something that made me think that he might still be alive, but it's just old stuff, which is repeated again and again. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, come on now. We could man the radio briefly. I think I would take that risk. Even though this might give away our position, and report the propellers. At night, we might still be relatively safe from air patrols, although not 100%. I think I already once had a night air attack on something like 3 patrols ago or something.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy? Herr Kaloy?
Do I still have damages to repair? Looks a bit like that. Okay. The machine gun is still not completely repaired. So, Mr. Schneider, if you were so kind and take care of that.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Hey, I didn't yet. Ah, yeah, I am still deck awash. So let's finally get the water out of the tanks. Okay, Mr. Schneider opening the valves now. The remaining seawater is pushed out back to where it belongs by compressed air. There it goes. So this is a bug, I don't know. I sometimes had that in the past, that I was just not able to get all of the water out of the tanks. Anybody had occurred that as well? Pretty rare, but now and then, like right now it is. What if I press below the tanks once more? I think nobody would do it.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Yes, some water in the village, so somebody please turn on the pump. Presses are running. Hey, also so much water left in the tanks. That's a bit weird.
Schäden am Turm repariert.
Okay, yes, there we are. All repaired. Stop direct orders. Okay, what was still to be repaired? Oh yeah, okay. Do that, that's very good. So, by the way, let me be AFK for just 1 minute, and I'm gonna pause the game for that. Execute order the snack. Yeah, I still don't have any proper thing to snack. So I just poured me a little glass of rum, like last night. And cheers, guys. Oh, see, they are still firing flares back there in search for us. Yeah, you never know. There might be other submarines abroad. No coke. It's just a bit of rum. Yeah, in one of these German tiny Schnapsgläser. What would you call it? A shot? Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, about the coke. I really can't drink any alcohol mixed with coke anymore, since I had some intense experiences with this when I was young. I just can't stand the taste of coke mixed with rum, or coke mixed with vodka, or coke mixed with whiskey. That just doesn't work for me anymore since many years. They are still searching. They are still searching, and well, it might be that there is another German submarine around which they are detecting. They are still firing flare. Yeah, chainsaw. Exactly. It's exactly this kind of glass which you would usually use for a grappa. Yep. Actually, just by chance, the glass that I use here, it is actually a grappa glass. That's what we use for that. I mean, here in our household, not like generally. Hey, it would be nice to see what's going on here, if there is another submarine, or maybe they are just checking and being afraid that we are still around. But they are definitely not going after us. Yes, weight loss. Yep. So, what is it? Friesengeist? Is it with Kümmel? Yeah, I like grappa actually. I like it pretty much. Ah, okay. So there would also be Kümmel in, but if it has 52 herbs, it would probably also have that one. Yep. Sounds a bit like Killepitch. So I grew up close to Düsseldorf, and in Düsseldorf, Killepitch is this kind of, yeah. It's this, yeah, for our international audience, it's a bit like Jägermeister. Just better. Okay. Okay, no, then it's not like Jäger. If you can enlighten it, no, then it is. Then it's really a schnapps, yeah. A clear one, ein klarer. Yeah, we got away from that, and I'm not gonna give it another try. I'm not gonna go for that convoy once more. No, it's night time, and before reaching them, we are at the edge of the square of BB, and when they leave BB, they wouldn't account for this mission set of Operation Drumbeat anymore.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Licorice. Yeah, well, it's not my favorite taste for schnapps. And yeah, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of schnapps with herb flavor. What I pretty much like is schnapps like burnt from fruit. Quite minty, like toothpaste, okay. But what's the relation to Dirty Harry actually? Yeah, same for me. I'm not a big fan of Jäger, but well, under certain circumstances, when I meet with my old pals from school, there is sometimes no way around Jaeger. Ah, okay. I don't know that one. Just know the movie. So come on, let's just keep on going on our patrol and see if we might run into some easier prey than this one. That was really, really hard. Yeah, tough protection upon them. Loads of escorts circling around, and they were pretty much on alert. Yeah, I better like schnapps from fruit. Like, not quite sure how you would call that in English. Like Obstler, which is a liquor which is distilled from apple and plums and things like that. Something mixed, or yeah, particularly from pears. Pretty much like pear schnapps. Williams. Or like we say, Willy. Yeah, and then now and then rum. This one here. It has spent some time in the cask. Yeah, and now and then I also like to drink whiskey, but I don't have whiskey at home at the moment. Hey, weight loss. Yeah, it's pretty nerving. Let's hope that we soon get out of the range. Or I could just send the guy away from it. I could send him to bed. Would it stop then, or would then some sailor take over? Let's see if some sailor is gonna take over. Okay, it says some ad is gonna start, so see you back in a minute, guys. Yeah, we are clear of them. We are back to 100% time acceleration possible. That means imagine having ads, yeah. By the way, thanks to all of you guys who are actually have subscribed. Like weight loss. So now, I think now I could...
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Bestätige.
Yeah. Now we are out of the radar range. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's carry on into the morning.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Change of watch. Yeah, it's still dark. So as we know, the time that we get is the local time of Berlin, or well, I don't know, Berlin or Greenwich. At least it's European time. So if we have 6 o'clock, we don't have sunrise, but probably the sunrise will only be at something like 10 o'clock. So let's carry on for another few hours. What is it? 8 o'clock? Let's check. Okay, there is the first hint of light in the east. Yeah, that's so nice how you had this gradual shedding of light in the morning. So we are moving in a thunderstorm and it's pretty windy. 20 knots by now. And do we still have all that water in the ballast tanks? That's a bit weird. So guys, do you have that as well? Did you have that? It hasn't been for a while, but now and then I have this effect that even if I blow the tanks, the water isn't getting out completely. Some remaining, and I don't get it out, and you see it also here that we don't have 100% buoyancy. Although we have no water in the bilge. It's a bug, I guess. Discipline, yeah, it's not too bad. Sooner or later I will have to send one of the officers to attend to playing cards with the guys. Maybe right now let's send the captain.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Ja?
Herr Kaloi?
Hey captain, didn't I tell you to play cards? Ah, yeah, okay, I have to choose where. 10 o'clock. And there we are, it's daylight, but in this weather it's daylight in air quotes. Also a wonderful detail that in bad weather the crew on the conning tower wears rain clothes. Yeah, pretty heavy sea.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Now let's think about what is our status. We still have one complete set of torpedoes in the tubes and one other complete set in spare, so no reason to turn back home, right? Still plenty of fuel. Only point is that the crew is actually more and more fatiguing, but I think I can still handle that. Which means we're gonna continue and see if we find some easier prey than this convoy. But looking at the time, we are approaching 3 o'clock local time, so I am gonna call it a day, but let's briefly check if it is worthwhile to raid someone. Let's go and raid Mr. Adam Krug. He's doing day Z, but yeah, don't be afraid. He's really a guy who does it pretty nicely. Or, yeah, let's go for him. So, would be very nice if you would stay in the stream at least until we do that raid, and then make up your mind whether you continue watching or if you quit. But you would help me very much if you would do the raid with as many people as possible, so that I can boast a bit that I have something like 9 viewers or more at the moment. Of course, this is only relevant for the guys on Twitch, or is it? I don't know if the streaming of a raid is gonna continue on YouTube. Yeah, well, let's try if it works. Here we get the raid. Yeah, let's start the raid. So thanks everybody for being in. It was a wonderful evening. There were plenty of people in. And it was a pleasure to have that wonderful chat with you. There we go. Raiding the guy. We are unable to raid him. Why? That's something I never had before. It says we are unable to raid the guy. Nope. Okay, it doesn't work. Then let's go for another guy who also does pretty nice DayZ streams, and his name is, surprise, Joshua. Let's go for him. So, thanks for joining, guys, and have a good one. There we go.
my god, that scared the hell out of me. Woo! What a name. How do I even say that name? I'm not sure I know how to say that name. What's up? Thanks for the raid, by the way. Welcome. Welcome. Hey, hi. Hello. I see the Josh part. What's here? Hello. Appreciate the raid, though. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. We're playing some DayZ right now, but we're playing the server. It's actually my server. I'm trying to add mods and get a certain type of feel to the server. And I'm going for like the Long Dark / The Last of Us / old school zombie movies kind of look, kind of feel to it. That's what we're trying to do here for this particular one. I need to find a new bridle because apparently I lost my other one. Yeah, I desperately need to find a new... Ooh, 5 more rounds for the 22. So I've got 10 rounds in total now. That's pretty sick. I have this Tamagotchi here. The last mod that I added. Hey, there you are. What's up, dude? Welcome. Thank you, Josh, for the raid. I appreciate you. How am I? I'm good. I'm good. Just, you know, surviving. Being very cold on this winter server. Very cold. What's, I'm assuming because of the name? Did you find me that way? Did you find me through the DayZ section? By the way, I'm assuming through the name because we have similar names. What were you broadcasting? What were you streaming? Pass on that. Actually, wait. Big brain. You've needed a real face mask for so long now, and you just haven't had one. Oh, that's so much better. That's gonna be so much warmer too. Ooh, another Ruger 1022. Nothing in it though. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Well, I appreciate that. That's super cool. What were you on today? What were you casting? What were you streaming? I gotta find new binoculars. I don't know if it makes sense to leave town to search for a new bridle that way. Some of the loot there seemed like it was very much still the same as last time I went through, so I don't know. U-boat? I don't know if I know what that is. Is that a World War II game? I'm assuming because of U-boats? Been doing DayZ for a while too? Oh, that's awesome. It's a sub simulator. That's cool. That's super cool. What type of DayZ do you do when you end up popping into DayZ, by the way? I've just been, I've always very much enjoyed the survival aspect of DayZ. So when I was planning on making the server, which has been almost a year now I've had the server, but I haven't really committed to it until the last, like, month. But I always wanted to do a slow survival kind of server. Very much like the Long Dark. Oh my god, my character's so tired already. I think I have way too many things on me that I have to start ditching some stuff soon. I think that's what I gotta do here at some point, boys. I think I gotta do that. I'm gonna have to warm up again. I don't think I gotta worry about that quite yet, but we'll see. Ooh. That's nice for a fast quick fire. Oh, nice! From way back in the day. Yeah, no kidding. Same. Luckily I got to meet Dean in Seattle for PAX Prime back in, I think it was 2014. It was really cool. It was super, super cool to get to meet him. Then I met the devs after that, I think in 2015. Because I don't think he was on the team anymore by then, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, this. Let's drop the glovies. Nice, my matches aren't cold or damp yet. Streaming since a year or a bit more? That's awesome, dude. That's so cool. And you'd been watching Twitch for a long time before that? Oh man. Ooh, that's pretty decent. Yes, the fire's actually lit. Oh, leave that by the fire. I might get this thing cooking. Get this thing really hot so that I can come back to it. Because if I do end up finding a bridle, I have to kind of backtrack right now. From where I am here, I have to backtrack to get to where the horses are. If I even end up finding a bridle. I'm still not sold on that idea. That's going to happen. Yes, firewood. All right. These firewood fires you make in here last a long time, and that is completely intentional. I wanted, ooh, don't shave your face. Because the stamina is such a bitch on this server, and it's such a struggle to actually light fires on here if you don't have matches or a lighter. I wanted the fires to last a long time. I keep repeating that same line, but it's true. So anybody who happens to not have heard it or whatever, you get it, basically. The fires I want to last a long ass time because it takes a while to start them, and it's a slower, you know, scrape by kind of server. At least I want it to be. I still think food is way too common. I thought knives were way too common. I think it was Kazuki in the Discord who was saying he was having trouble finding any at all. Something like that. Alright. My character's a little exhausted right now, somehow. Oh, it's the giant battery I've been carrying around, I bet you. Let's drop that. And I have a feeling my stamina isn't going to be nearly as bad. Oh, I love those raincoats. I should have put all that somewhere. Take off the face mask to eat. There we go. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Hopefully the music's not too loud.